Welcome. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is October 3rd, 2023. You know what that means. It is day 3 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 12. I am so excited to talk about today's movie, which is The Toxic Avenger. As you can see, I got a Toxic Crusader figure next to me. I know this isn't technically a horror movie. I know it's kind of horror comedy. Definitely 80% comedy, uh, 20% horror, but it's just, I know I had to think of, I had Steiner math going on there for a second. But it's like, yeah, but it's Trauma. Trauma always has a kind of a pass on these kind of lists to me because they do have some like really cool horror movies, but they are truly independent movies. Three independent movies to start this year off, and the object for the theme for this week is the mop. The theme for this whole week has been everyday objects kind of used in different ways in horror. Like it was the chainsaw, the video camera, a mop. And so like basically, if you have never seen a trauma movie, Toxic Avenger is a very, very good and easy starting point because if you kind of branch out, you may start getting into like territories you may get if you don't know what you're getting into. And where I'm going to let you know that the first Toxic Avenger is a pretty good, easy starting point compared to some of his other Lloyd Kaufman trauma movies in general, because it's the first superhero from New Jersey. It's about this nerd who had a prank pulled on him, and he ends up falling in this barrel of toxic waste and transforms him into the monster hero we know on the cover, Toxie. And his superpower is he kind of senses crime and evil, and he just starts killing people. And like there's a big scene in the taco joint where he takes on a bunch of people who are trying to rob the place, and it gets into politics where the mayor is corrupt, and then he ends up like killing this old woman, but they're wondering like, why did he kill an old woman? And then it turns to find out that she's evil. She has connections to the mob and everything. But what the Toxic Avenger is really truly what makes it stand out and gets a pass is that it's an independent movie. It has practical effects. It's and it's good. It really is good. Like if you can, like this is a. I'm not going to put this as I'm going to kind of jump to my rating scale for a second. Like 1 being run-of-the-mill horror, 2 best watched with the group, 3 more than average, 4 helps move the horror genre forward, and 5 being a horror classic. I'm not going to put it as a 5 because it isn't horror, but it is a classic in the realm of like independent movies, I should say. Like it does have its place as a in the top tier of horror, or a top tier of independent movies, just because this movie's this edition right here is 30 years old. Or at the time, this is the 30th anniversary. I think they're releasing a 4K version, which is like the 40th anniversary of it. So, or something like that. But like this does have its place in independent and just cinema in general, in my opinion, because this kind of stuff doesn't happen all that often anymore. Like you really have to set forth and find these movies, where this is kind of like a lightning in the bottle kind of stuff, and especially with Trauma being lasting this long with this world of cinema going on right now. So it's just like they deserve all the praise and everything. But yeah, like I mentioned, it's just about a nerd who had a prank pulled on him, turns into a superhero, and it's very gory. But it's cartoony gory. There is a scene that can be a little troubling depending on your views on animal abuse. Like it, I didn't like that scene. Like, I don't care who you are. I hate those kind of scenes in movies regardless. Even if you hear the sound off camera and anything, I understand it kind of like, it's a good motivational factor, or a good way to kind of to get the audience, get an emotional response out of the audience. But I just don't like those kind of stuff. It's just like, it's true to me. It doesn't really have a place in movies at all. Like, I think there's better ways to motivate somebody. Even in the John Wick movie, like the first one, it's like, I understand why they did what they did, but it's like, that's just rough, and it's like, I don't like that. So, but yeah, but anyways, like, this is just, it's sleaze, but in a good way. So I really don't have much else to say about this. Like, what I do have to say is, like, the Troma DVDs and movies have so much special features. Like, these are worth getting just for the special features and the commentaries alone and everything. And the Blu-ray doesn't look too bad. I've been learning that they have just been taking older copies and then just put them on Blu-ray disc and stuff like that. So my hesitation for the 4K collection is a little hesitant, even though I know Vinegar Syndrome is taking over the transferring. So that is a very strong kind of thing, very like pro, it's like, okay, maybe this will actually be a pretty good set to own one day. My history with this movie, I know I'm not really talking about the editing and the sound design and stuff like that I talked about with the previous movies, because you don't need to, because that's not what this movie excels in. It excels in the practical effects and everything else, and the comedy, and the just the overall, just like this movie is a truly independent movie, and it's done really well. It really is. So, like, I know the other two are truly independent movies as well, but it's just like, this has a more of an independent, like, vibe to it. Like, I think because Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Paranormal Activity have gotten so big and spawned so many sequels and stuff like this. Like, yes, the Toxic Avenger has has 3 sequels, but it still kind of has that charm to it. The couple of sequels aren't that great, but at least it still has that Troma feel to it regardless. So that's all I got. That's all I really got to say. I already talked about the rating scale for this one. It's definitely a 2. It's definitely best watched with the group, because this one, just get a bunch of your buddies who definitely has the same kind of mindset. You will have a lot of fun with this one. It's just fun. It's not a horror classic, but it is a class. Like I mentioned at the top, it definitely has its place in the pantheon of independent cinema, and just in cinema in general. So that's just my take on it. So that is all. The only way I can end these videos is to tell you, just stay spooky, and thank you.